The Ghost of the Grey Bolt, the Philadelphia Experiment. In 1943, at the height of World War II, rumors began to circulate about a top-secret naval project at the Philadelphia Naval Shipyard, known as Project Rainbow. The goal was to apply Einstein's unified field theory to render a ship invisible to enemy radar. The test subject was the USS Eldridge, a Cannon-class destroyer escort packed with experimental electromagnetic coils. According to the legend, the first test occurred in July. As the generators hummed to life, a strange, greenish-blue fog began to envelop the hull of the Eldridge. To the shock of the shoreside observers, the ship didn't just disappear from radar, it physically vanished from sight, leaving only a hole in the water where the massive vessel had been sitting seconds before. When the generators were shut down, the Eldridge reappeared, but the crew was in a state of total disorientation and severe nausea. Despite the physical toll, the Navy allegedly ordered a second, more powerful test in October. This time, the ship didn't just vanish. It reportedly teleported over 200 miles away to Norfolk, Virginia, appearing there for several minutes. Witnesses in Norfolk claimed to see the ghostly image of the Eldridge materialize in the harbor before it vanished again, reappearing back in Philadelphia. But when the scientists boarded the ship after its return, they were met with a scene of pure, unadulterated horror. The teleportation had gone catastrophically wrong, and the crew had paid the ultimate price. Some sailors had simply vanished into thin air, never to be seen again. Others had gone completely insane, wandering the decks and screaming about the void. But the most gruesome sight was the men who had become fused with the ship. Their limbs and torsos were literally melded into the steel bulkheads and deck plates, as if they had turned to liquid and resolidified. One report described a man who had his hand embedded deep into the steel of the hull. He was still alive, his eyes wide with a shock that transcended pain. The survivors who weren't fused or missing suffered from the freeze, a condition where they would suddenly become translucent or frozen in place for days, invisible to others unless someone touched them to resync them. The Navy immediately shut down the project and classified all records. The survivors were reportedly brainwashed or committed to mental institutions to ensure their silence. The USS Eldridge was eventually sold to the Greek Navy, but sailors who served on it later claimed the ship was cursed, reporting cold spots, phantom footsteps, and the scent of ozone in the engine room. The mystery went public in 1955 when a man named Morris Jessup, an astronomer and UFO researcher, received a series of cryptic letters from a man calling himself Carlos Miguel Allende. Allende claimed to have witnessed the experiment from a nearby merchant ship, the SS Andrew Furusith. He described the green fire and the molding of men into the steel in vivid detail. Jessup was later invited to the Office of Naval Research, where he was shown a copy of his own book, The Case for the UFO, which had been covered in handwritten notes by 3 different people or beings discussing the Philadelphia experiment as a historical fact. Shortly after, Jessup was found dead in his car under suspicious circumstances, ruled as suicide. But many believe he was silenced. Skeptics point out that the USS Eldridge's logbooks show it was nowhere near Philadelphia during the dates of the alleged tests. The Navy maintains the experiment was actually degaussing, a common practice to make ships invisible to magnetic minds, not to human eyes. They claim the teleportation was a misunderstanding of the inland canal system that allowed fast travel. Yet, the story persists. Former sailors have come forward over the decades, claiming they were part of the support crew and saw things that defied physics. The Philadelphia experiment remains the ultimate black-budget mystery, a cautionary tale of what happens when humanity tries to tear the veil of spacetime before we are ready to handle the darkness on the other side. Today, the Philadelphia Naval Shipyard is a quiet business park, but the legend of the ghost ship Eldridge still haunts the Delaware River. It is a story of men lost in the grey, and of a government that may have stumbled upon a power it couldn't control. Whether it was a masterclass in urban legend or a true glimpse into the fourth dimension, the Eldridge sailed into history